Morning, guys. So we're just going to dive in a little bit deeper into some very specific synonyms and antonyms. We reviewed synonyms and antonyms on Tuesday, so hopefully you guys have a good remembering of what we did in class a while ago. This specifically will pair with the worksheet for today, so as long as you guys follow along in the video, it will give you some of the answers. Okay, so we're going to start with the synonyms. Some of these words can be a little bit confusing, so understanding how to think about what a new word is that means the same thing can be really helpful. So for the first one, we have the word disease. What do you guys think? If we were to say the word disease, what's a synonym we could use to replace the word disease with? Try and think. What does disease mean? And then how can we plug in a different word that means the same thing? So one good option for you guys is the word sick. So disease can be the same thing as being sick, okay? Now for the next one, we've got the word stone. If I were to go outside and find a stone on the ground, what's another word I could use in place of the word stone? So what is a synonym of the word stone? Rock. Okay, so if I were to go outside and find a stone, the same thing is going outside and finding a rock. Okay, next one. I've got the word false. Now be careful, I don't want the opposite of false. I want a word that means the same thing as false. So if I were to say you were false with that question, what's another word I could use in place of that? So another word that means the same thing as false is incorrect. You were incorrect with that question. Okay, now we've got this one, the word cool. This one is mainly talking about temperature, so cool. So if I were to say it's very cool outside, what's another word that could replace cool but still mean that it's cool outside? Cold. I could also say it's chilly or it's brisk, but we're going to stick with cold for right now. Okay, if I have the word send, what's another word that means the same thing as send? Deliver. So if I said that I was going to send you some money in the mail, I could also say I'm going to deliver some money to you through the mail. Okay, if I've got the word blame, what's another word that means the same thing as blame? Accuse. So on one hand I could say I blame you for what you did. The other one is I accuse you of doing that bad thing. So the sentences would switch just a little bit, but they still mean the same things. Okay? What's another word for run? What is a synonym of run? If I say I'm going for a run today, I could also say I'm going for a jog. Run and jog are synonyms. If I say you have an exam this Friday, which you do, what's another word I could use instead of the word exam? Try and think about it before I write it down. Test. We could also say assessment, which is a word that you guys are pretty used to. Exam, test, assessment, they're all synonyms. If I say my room is very tidy right now, what's another word I could use to say that it's tidy? I could also say it's very clean. I just tidied up my room. I just cleaned up my room. All right, last one for the synonyms. We've got this word, liberty. What is another word that means the same thing as having liberty? Freedom. Perfect. Okay, so that does it for our synonyms. Make sure you write these down because they could help you on the worksheet for today, okay? Now let's move on to antonyms. If we remember from our review on Tuesday, antonyms mean the opposite. So it completely flips whatever you're talking about to the opposite level. So I know we had, for example, over here, we had loud and quiet. Those are complete opposites. They change what the sentence is talking about completely. So if I start by saying I have very few pencils in my pencil box, what's the opposite of having very few? Many. But for this case, we're going to use the word several. I have very few pencils in my pencil box. Jessica has several pencils in her pencil box. So it completely says the opposite thing. Now, if I have the word same, what's the opposite of same? Different. So we got the same answer on the test, and then we got different answers on the test, completely opposite. Okay, what's the opposite of something being really heavy? Something being really light. Light. So if something's not heavy, it's pretty light. What's the opposite of remember? If I told you to remember something and you didn't do it, then what did you do? You forgot. The opposite of remember is forget, so they are antonyms. What's the opposite of thick? What is the antonym for thick? If something is very thick, the opposite is thin. All right, let's say we're back in class and I mark you absent. What's the opposite of being absent? What is an antonym for absent? Present. You're here. All right. Thinking about our pencils. If our pencil isn't sharp, what is it? If your pencil isn't sharp, what is it? It's dull. And I know we talked about this one on Tuesday, last time we did the synonyms and antonyms. If I'm not rich, what am I? I'm poor. All right, we've got two more. We're going to wrap it up really quick, and then I want you guys to hop on and do that test for today. If something is not huge, what is it? What is the antonym of huge? There's several options you could pick for this one. We're going to stick with tiny, but you could say that it's little, or that it's small, or that it's miniature or mini. There's a lot of different antonyms that go along with sizes of things. And lastly, if I'm throwing myself a party and it's not private, what is it? If something is not private, what is it? It's public. If it's not private, it's public. So it's open to everyone instead of just being for a few people. Okay, so that's our review of synonyms and antonyms for your guys' worksheet today. Take notes on it. I guarantee you'll get some answers if you watch this entire video. And let us know if you guys have any questions, okay?